Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within, and I've been there before, but that life's a bore so full of the superficial. And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got it, you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Some people search for a fountain. The promise is forever young. You know, some people need 3 dozen roses, and that's the only way to prove you love them. Hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it be? With no one to share, with no one who truly cares for me. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got it, you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you, you, you. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. If I ain't got you with me, baby. Oh, ooh, said nothing in this whole wide world don't mean a thing if I ain't got you with me, baby.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating I'm down, I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh, give me all of you. Cards on the table, we're both showing heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you please to stand as we welcome the bridal party. And our first arrival of the bridal party is Connie, who is our flower girl today. That was stunning. John, you have a very important role today and the honour of presenting Jessica to be married to George. Do you support her decision to marry George today?
I do.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to extend the warmest of welcomes to you here today at Allington Castle. My name is Margaret, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent Registrar here today, and I'll be conducting today's ceremony. With me are Debbie and Carol from Kent Registration, who are also the registrars today and will be making a legal record of the ceremony today. We are here today at this wonderful venue to witness the marriage of George and Jessica. And on their behalf, I would like to thank you for joining them to witness, celebrate and participate in their wedding today. I know it means a great deal to them that you can be here today and share in their happiness on this occasion, especially family and friends who have travelled from overseas. Marriage is a lifelong promise based on love. By getting married, two people make a permanent commitment to one another. They promise to share their lives together. They join their hands and their hearts. Through their vows, George and Jessica are making a commitment to each other. Through your presence here today, you are showing your support for them. However, before we proceed, I have to ask if anyone here knows of any legal reason why George and Jessica may not be joined in marriage today, then they should declare it now. George and Jessica wish to marry and publicly affirm their relationship, giving each other the security that comes from legally binding vows, sincerely made and faithfully kept. Marriage calls for honesty, patience, and of course Jessica has sense of humour. A good partner will be loving, caring, and above all, a best friend. It is in this spirit that George and Jessica are before us now. Today, George and Jessica will exchange vows which will unite them as husband and wife. The words are a formal and public pledge of their love and a promise of lifelong commitments to each other. The ceremony will be in accordance with the civil law of this country, which requires both George and Jessica to declare their freedom to marry each other before they solemnly promise to take one another as partners for life. George and Jessica, before you make your vows to each other, it is my duty to remind you of two things. Firstly, this place in which you are now met has been duly sanctioned according to the law for the celebration of marriages. This simply means that every marriage that takes place in this room is fully legal and binding on both parties. I also have to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage in this country is the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. I'm now going to ask each of you to declare that you know of no legal reason why you may not be joined in matrimony to each other. George, please repeat after me. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
A bit louder.
There's two backups right there. I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, George Michael William Bowyer.
Why I, George Michael William Bowyer.
May not be joined.
May not be joined.
In matrimony.
In matrimony.
To Jessica Duran Sher.
To Jessica Duran Sher.
So Jessica, please repeat after me.
I'll try.
I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare
that I know not.
that I know not
of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, Jessica Duran-Sher,
Why I, Jessica Duran-Sher,
may not be joined
may not be joined
in matrimony
in matrimony
to George Michael William Bowyer.
to George Michael William Bowyer.
George and Jessica, the institution of marriage must be entered into freely, voluntarily, and with the full and unreserved consent of you both. Your family and friends have come here to be with you today. You invited them here to receive their encouragement and support and to celebrate with you at this special time. So I ask you now, in their presence, to confirm your intention to marry. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, class, you all please to stand. George, I'm looking for a very loud and positive behind you. George Michael William Bowyer, do you take Jessica Duran-Sher to be your wife?
I do.
I haven't finished. Do you promise to comfort her in life's sorrows and pain, to rejoice with her through good times, and to remain true to her for the rest of your lives together?
Yep. I do.
Jessica Duran-Sher, do you take George Michael William Bowyer to be your husband? Do you promise to comfort him in life's sorrows and pain, to rejoice with him through good times, and to remain true to him for the rest of your lives together?
I do.
So the moment has come for George and Jessica to make their marriage contract with each other. As these words are spoken, they will become husband and wife. George, please repeat after me. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, George Michael William Bowyer, do take thee, Jessica Duran-Sher, to be my lawful wedded wife. Jessica, please repeat after me. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Jessica Duran-Sher, do take thee, George Michael William Bowyer, to be my lawful wedded husband. The couple now have some special words that they'd like to say to each other. So I'm just going to pass them to them. Jess, I think you're going first.
Some souls instantly click. Whether you're lovers, best friends, soulmates, or something so special that words can't quite explain it. You accept this person for everything they are, and they would never let you be anything other than your beautiful, imperfect self. These are the souls that you encounter, and just know in the very first moment that you were supposed to cross paths. Their presence makes you feel safe and calm, like you are home whenever you're with them.
They are without a doubt the most special person you've had the privilege to love. No distance, time, or person could come between the bond you share. Their kindness, softness, sincerity, and unconditional love makes you feel like a better person, because life is simply better with them in it. Whatever form they may come in, these souls are your happy place, your comfort, your sunshine, your everything, and you genuinely could not imagine life without them in it.
Beautifully done. A wedding ring is the ancient and traditional way of sealing the contract you have just made with each other. It is an unbroken circle that symbolising unending and everlasting love, and is the outward sign of the lifelong promise you have just made to each other. And I have a very important job for a very special young man who's now going to bring the rings to the happy couple. George, got the rings? So we're going to untie them from you, George, to Jessica. Are they both there, George? Yeah. Yes, I'll put them both on the table. George. Thank you, George. So, George, would you like to take your ring for Jessica?
Yeah. Yeah.
Place it on the third finger of her left hand. That's it. Holding it in place. Just hold her hand and repeat these words. Jessica, I give you this ring
Jessica, I give you this ring
as a token of my love
as a token of my love
and our commitment to each other.
and our commitment to each other.
I promise to cherish and care for you,
I promise to cherish and care for you,
to trust you and to be honest with you,
to trust you and to be honest with you,
to stand by you and support you,
to stand by you and support you,
now and always.
now and always.
Jessica. Hold his hand. George, I give you this ring
George, I give you this ring
as a token of my love
as a token of my love
and our commitment to each other.
and our commitment to each other.
I promise to cherish and care for you,
I promise to cherish and care for you,
to trust you and be honest with you,
to trust you and be honest with you,
to stand by you and support you,
to stand by you and support you,
now and always.
now and always.
George and Jessica, this joyful occasion is the beginning of a new life together. We all hope that the feeling of love that you have for each other will deepen and grow stronger throughout the years to come. You are two people with one life ahead of you. May it be filled with love and happiness. Now that you have made the declarations required by law and made solemn promises to each other in the presence of your family and friends here today, it really does give me the greatest pleasure in confirming that you are now husband and wife. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honour for me today, and this couple are just so special to all of us here. They are now husband and wife, but they do now need to complete the paperwork with the registrars who are here. So I want you to be seated, enjoy the music played by the fantastic Jordan, and then we'll have an opportunity for photographs once the paperwork's been concluded. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask everyone please to be upstanding? So we all wish you, George and Jessica, many congratulations and the very best of luck and happiness for the rest of your married lives together. George, enjoy celebrating with your wife today, and Jess, enjoy celebrating with your husband today. I have one last formal duty to perform today, and in this beautiful venue, I hope you will please make as much noise as you can to welcome, for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Bowyer.
stone will never fall, but watching stars without you, my soul cried. Heaving heart is full of pain. The aching, 'cause I'm missing you. I'm missing you. Touch me deep, pure and true. Gift to me forever. 'Cause I'm kissing you know. 'Cause I'm kissing kissing you.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am whole again.
So Dad was entirely ignored, as per usual. Firstly, a big shout out to Jack Rollins for doing an amazing groom speech. Only a couple months ago, and frankly making us all in the future look bad. But that's fine, that's fine. Thanks, Jack. I want to start. Thank you. I want to start off by saying how incredibly lucky I feel to be here. Not just because I'm here with the most wonderful woman in the world, but because we're here with so many of you without whom this day wouldn't have been even close to being possible. We've got people here from all over the world, and we're really grateful that you are able to join us. We've got friends coming over from the US, from Canada. There's some people from Shortlands as well. And quite a few people from the dodgy bit of Petswood, you know, after the roundabout on the left, you know, if you've driven past it, you know that bit. Now there's a lot more funnier, probably more savage people that are going to be joining me on the microphone later, so I read online that my job was just to sort of go through the thank you, so that's what I'm going to stick to and try and thank as many of you as I can in the 45 minutes that I've got to cover. Firstly, I would like to have you all raise a glass in a minute to Jessica. Yeah. She was the most. We'll get to it, I promise. She was the most beautiful, incredible bride that I could have dreamed of seeing down here. And as you all saw, I kept very, very good control of my emotions. But inside, I was very much overwhelmed at how incredible my wife to be looked. Almost 4 years to the day. Some of you might know that Jessica and I sat in the laundry room of the Disney Fantasy. It's not as racist as you think. And Jessica was writing a pros and cons list because I had quite conveniently, shortly after meeting Jessica, exited a prior relationship. No, fully coincidence on that one. But Jessica was deciding if it was a good idea if we started dating straight away. And as only Jessica can, she started writing a pros and cons list. This was in front of me, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't discreetly. It was like the episode of Friends, except I was there, sat there, and she wrote it. So she was writing the pros and cons list, and we don't need to go into the pros and the cons. We can do the pros. John's going to cover the pros in a bit. But I'm pleased to announce Jessica actually concluded it was a bad idea for us to start dating straight away, and we decided that we should give it a couple of months. Fortunately, that was the first in many instances that I decided to entirely ignore Jessica and continue with my agenda, and 4 years later, here we are. Jessica is the most selfless, caring and beautiful woman I've ever met in my life, and there is no one in the world that deserves such a beautiful day as what we've had today. There's no one in the world that deserved this day more than Jess. My main reason for wanting us to have this day, other than celebrating our love in front of so many people that are important to us, was that Jessica just really deserved that fairy tale wedding, and we'll get to thanking the people that are responsible for that, but I'm really glad that you got the wedding and we got the wedding that you deserved. So Jessica, I love you, I love the person I am with you, and I would like everyone to raise a glass to my beautiful wife. So first up, I would like to thank the bridal party, namely Ray and Sarah, who are an absolutely fantastic team for Jess. I compared them yesterday, definitely when I wasn't writing this speech, but I compared them yesterday to a mix between Mafia Fixers and Cheerleader Hype Men. In that they've been there for every step of the way with Jess, getting her through the harder parts of planning a wedding, and always there to hype her up when things get a little bit overwhelming and when I'm not able to. So thank you to Ray and Sarah. Jess's brother Jack. They helped stage manage the huge operation. They helped stage manage the huge operation that was getting our junior bridesmaid Peggy, our flower girl Bonnie, and my page boy George down the aisle. So I'd like to thank them very much for that. Because I'm sure you can all agree that those three did an absolutely fantastic job and looked absolutely adorable. So I would like to raise another glass, if that's okay, to Team Bright. Speaking of which, I'm now going to invite Ray to come up to the top to deliver their speech.
Bring up the hive, it's okay. Hi, everybody. Is this a good place for me to stand? Yes. On the end. Hello, everyone. I am the friend of honor, or for you Brits, the mate of honor, if you will, of the beautiful and incomparable Jessica Boyer. My darling and precious land mermaid, the wind beneath my wings, I thank every higher power that was involved in our crossing our paths every single day. For those of you who don't know, I first briefly met Jess and George when we were working as performers on the Disney Wonder in 2019. Their cast was coming on and mine was coming out. And it wasn't until a couple of years and multiple waves of the pandemic later that we finally became friends. I embarked the Disney Wonder for my second performing contract in summer 2021, only to learn that our roommate selection was going to be completely random. Now, if you didn't know, when you work on a cruise ship, they put you in these extremely lovely, cozy 8x8-foot rooms where you quite literally end up living on top of another person. So choosing who that person is going to be is of the utmost importance. Leaving that up to chance is a terrifying idea, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. When I entered that darling little cabin, number 9590, my future roommate wasn't home, but I was greeted by a Moulin bedspread, a stuffed Highland cow, and a picture of a happy, smiling couple. I didn't know it yet, but these were the first set of clues to identify the greatest friend I'd likely ever have. The odds were truly in my favor that day. Now, I don't know much about odds because, like most performers, the most math I can handle is counting to 8. But I'm a big fan of the concept. The idea that out of all the million possible combinations, you end up at a certain place, at a certain time, meeting certain people, there had to be some magical force behind that. What separates humans from most intelligent life forms is our ability to believe in something, in higher powers, in our own potential, faith, destiny. You can call it whatever you wish, but it sure is special. Every day I think those very odds, that very force that put us together in that shoebox of a room because I don't know how we would have handled it all without each other. Heartbreaks and family drama, incompetent managers, and far too many lockdowns, our tiny cabin saw it all. Enter George. Long-distance relationships are challenging enough, but on a cruise ship, in a shared living space with an audience, yikes. You don't get much privacy in a place like that, so no matter how hard you try, and whether Jess and George liked it or not, I got to be a glaringly obvious fly on the wall for their relationship for a solid 8 months. They could have been bitter about my never-ending presence, but instead they welcomed me kindly as the third wheel I was always destined to be. We were like salt and pepper and paprika. Han Solo and Princess Leia and C-3PO. And perhaps Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger and Dobby the house elf. I was there for all of it, and I'm very glad that I was, because I learned a very valuable lesson about fate. Fate simply gives you the chance to have something wonderful, but it's up to you to keep it there. Every day on that silly little boat, I watched Jess and George choose each other over and over and over again. They chose patience when the times were trying. They chose to act with peace and love when the stakes were high. They chose communication and kindness. They chose to take the chance fate gave them and make it into a meaningful life. I never understood how important those choices were until I saw them make it without thinking about it twice. Like I said, maintaining a long-distance relationship while on a boat is no easy task. But making the choice to make it work will be the easiest choice in the world if you care about somebody that much. All of their choices led us here today, in a beautiful castle that is overflowing with love from all around the world. It takes courage to believe in your choices, and you both had enough confidence in one another to fill a room with people who believe in you too. You both are living examples of the magic that is created when you find the courage to take a risk and choose love. So, my darling Jessica, I love you more than words could ever say. I'm sure George and everyone else in this room can agree it has been the greatest honor to be chosen by you. And George, thank you for welcoming me into your family. I couldn't imagine being the donkey to anyone else's track and field. To Jess and George, may you continue to choose each other over and over and over again.
It's me again. I'm going to sprinkle myself throughout the speeches. So I had a bit of a read online when it came to groom speeches, and something it said that a lot of grooms trip up on is they don't stick to family and friends when they're thanking people. They worry about things like the florists, the caterers, and the registrar. However, our registrar, despite sobbing for the solid last hour, went above and beyond, I'd say. She helped out with the bridesmaids and the wedding party. She's paid for everyone's taxi home. So a lot of people have also been surprised to learn that Margaret my mother is a registrar. They've said things like, how lucky, and isn't that amazing, what a coincidence, is one we've heard very often. But I was going to run you quickly through a list of my mum's careers prior to this one. So when we first started school, she was a crossing patrol guard at that school. When we joined secondary school, she became a study supervisor, again at that secondary school. When we started learning to drive, particularly to Grace's disgust, she became a road safety officer, which is essentially just a legally mandated way to be anal about everything. And then finally, she of course became a registrar. Fair to say that if she ever takes an interest in divorce law, me and Michael need to get a bit nervous for what may be to come. And then aside from that, she of course became a professional cruiser. I think the quickest person ever to achieve the gold Castaway Club member status. Within the first 6 months of me joining. She claims she's never been on a cruise that I wasn't on, but I've only done 6 cruises and she's done 25, so it's pretty basic maths there. Jokes aside, Jokes aside, Mum has done so much, not just for me, but for Jessica. She's helped us hugely when it's come to settling in England, even made it possible. She's one of the most caring, almost to a fault at times, people that I know in the world, which is why I'd like to have a toast just for my mum. All raising glass to the registrar.
Smashed it, Mum. Sorry.
I forgot to toast that. So now my sisters, who all of you will have met.
Sorry.
Given the fact that Ray and Sarah were both at the receiving end of very bad cellular service at sea and in the wrong time zones, the girls took on the grave responsibility of planning a hen party for Jessica. Which I'm sure, as you can hear from the reaction in the crowd, is a job that they really relish. It's something they really strive for excellence in when it comes to planning hens. Unfortunately, given Jessica really sees enough kind of ripped abs and muscular physiques, they had to go outside of the box of the normal Magic Mike and a couple of bottles of champagne for Jess's hen. But from what I understand, based on the limited things I've been told for some reason, it was a very, very good night from what I understand. So I do appreciate them planning that. What's even more impressive and would be amazing to to anyone that doesn't know the incredible women that are my sisters, is, as you've seen, at the very last minute, my best man wasn't able to attend, and just 4 days before the wedding, my two sisters stepped in, and despite me saying I wasn't fussed for a stag, they insisted I would be having a stag party.
Sort of a stag. Sort of a stag.
I think I made a mistake of describing a sort of a stag, and planned an amazing stag night out for me. They just dialed down the stag and dialed up the nerd pretty heavily. So, sorry, I keep losing my place. But just
Take your time on this bit. Get it right. Don't miss anything out.
So I did decide, because I thought it was only fair, that I named my sisters my best men. And that, aside from obviously normal gender roles in that, I didn't just do that to annoy the readers of the Daily Mail. I did it.
You know who you are.
Fox News is the translation for our American friends there. I did it because there is not two other people in the world that I would trust to step up the way they did more than my sisters. Like I said, all of you would be surprised to learn that my sisters planned a stag in 4 days. For me, it was just a case of course they did. I was raised by three incredible women, and I'm very lucky. And then finally, Dad, thanks for coming. So I think the main thing I can attribute to my father is much to Jessica's chagrin at times. I'm sure I inherited his sarcastic.
Chagrin's a good word.
Just checking my vocab while I do this speech. Yeah, thank you. I did, unfortunately for Jess, inherit my dad's sarcastic sense of humour that she often has to deal with, and more importantly from my mum and my dad. And I think everyone at this table, Jessica and I inherited the belief that more than anything, you put your children first, no matter what. And I really do think that's something that everyone at this table agrees with, and something that me, my sisters, Jessica, and her brother have benefited hugely from. So I would like to raise a glass to my family and to Jessica's new family. Now, part of the best man duties is also to deliver a speech, which I let my sisters know, don't worry about it, you can deliver a speech if you want, you don't have to. I have a feeling a speech from my sisters was coming, whether they were best men or not, so if anything, this is just kind of controlling what you can't really control.
Just get ready for it.
They're getting props out. So I hand you over to my sisters. So many nice things about you. Please, come do this. Jesus Christ.
Hello, darling. As you will all be aware, or Georgie just told you, we were not Georgie's first choice for this job. But when circumstances changed, when circumstances changed, we pushed through the disappointment, the hurt, the bitterness, and took our rightful places as as best men.
Next.
Everyone, we draw your attention to the envelopes on your table. Kindly open said envelope and at one at a time open the first exhibit. Exhibit A. Have a look at Exhibit A. Exhibit A only. Have a little pass around for me. As you'll see, fortunately and miraculously, we found Ed's passport. It turns out we had it all along. Seems safe and sound. We will return it to him once all the madness is over. All the duties of best men are completed solely and exclusively by us. Due to time constraints, and in order to give you guys the best man speech experience, we consulted bestmanspeech.com.
Yes, we did.
On bestmanspeech.com, it gave us a couple of top tips. Top tip number 1. We're going to go through them all, guys. Introduce yourselves, be positive, keep everything upbeat. And fun facts. We like fun facts. So starting off with our names and something about us. Hi, my name is Grace. I'm a commitment foe and I will not compromise. Hi, my name's Amy and I'm a narcissist. Fun fact number 1. American husbands are 10 times more likely than their UK counterparts to be brutally murdered by their wives within the first 5 years of marriage. Fun fact. The rest of the top tips are as follows.
I think I'm offended.
Number 2, consider your audience. Having us step up at such short notice is truly a huge honour for all of you. Number 3, don't rely solely on humour. Well, considering we crawl through both our sad little lives, tuning into humour, that's going to be a no. I will not compromise. Number 4, do not upstage the couple. This is not a performance, it's not about you. Number 5, get a second opinion on all stories within the speech. Make sure they're appropriate. My opinion, your opinion, done. Be sure to have plenty of time to practice. Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Ed. Keep it short and sweet. No? Don't embarrass yourself. Avoid Dutch courage. That moment you want another shot, don't. Our family have loved you, Jess, from day one. Yeah. We met Jess on the Disney Wonder cruise ship on a family trip to visit our brother, aka go on a free cruise. When Jess met my kids, Peggy was just 5, baby George was 2, and Bonnie was only 6 months old. Despite knowing Uncle George his entire life, once baby George met Jess, it was like Uncle George was yesterday's news. He didn't exist. It was all about Jess from then on. For the rest of the cruise, in fact, baby George referred to George as Jess's man. Wouldn't use his actual name anymore. Jess and Jess's man.
It's not wrong.
It's no secret that we prefer Jess to George. And that's completely justified. Fun fact. The origins of the word bride in the Old English meaning is to cook. Very apt for Jess. Now the term bride means so much more. For example, it means telling your husband when he's wrong. It means nagging. It means spending all the money. We've told Jess Pride today that not if, but when she is bored of George and they get a divorce,
Let's be realistic, everyone. Let's keep
she has to continue to come and see us, cook for us, and give us all the baked goods. That's our prenup. All of you who know George well know that he grew up in a home in which he was always outnumbered by independent, feisty, driven, strong, successful women.
That's what they call it nowadays.
George was referred by our family doctor to a speech and language therapist because he hadn't managed to utter a single word by the age of 7. We can all see how emasculated he's felt over the years. He was so sick of it, tired of being spoken over, never listened to, the women in his life always being right. George is a hypocrite. Though we exasperate him, we've realised that actually he's more than happy to marry a strong, independent, feisty, driven, successful woman. Mag's our mum and celebrant of the day. She's had to come here to literally oversee the ceremony for her boy bride. That's her words, everyone. George isn't the groom, he's the boy bride. Just in case your mum was sure that meant. Mum had to see this herself to make sure we got married off and make sure we are finally released of any responsibility. I think it was approximately 30 seconds after leaving that room that Mum said to me, "You're next." I'm not sure how much Jess has paid to marry George, but I'm certainly sure that Mum will have to sell her bungalow to find a husband for me. Further to the bestman.com guidance, we continue with the best bit. Anecdotal stories about George, which have all been certified and approved. We like to, opinion one, opinion two. We like to draw your attention to Exhibits B and C, please, everyone, in your evidence pack. B and C only.
Can I get another drink, please?
No, not really necessary.
Oh my God!
George has always been in touch with his inside.
Great.
As a baby growing up, we would dress him up in our dresses, our Disney princess outfits, and no, don't feel sorry for him, he loved it. He would complain if we wouldn't dress him up so we could go downstairs and do a little dance for the grown-ups. Shows were a massive part of our childhood. The Skyline of Butlins was George's homeland. We made the pilgrimage down to Bognor Regis in the back of the Renault Espace, and George would be beside himself at the prospect of singing along to Billy the Bear. Yeah. Once at Butlins, George entered the fancy dress competition. He didn't ask to be a fireman or a policeman. He didn't want to be a pirate, no. George asked Mum to dress him up as polar female Teletubby. And he won! Because he won like a female Teletubby!
Champions!
He won a pink sparkly skipping rope and he loved it. You go, girl!
Jesus Christ!
He loved getting into character. Exhibit D, everyone. Exhibit D. Whether it was dancing around his room in his wife runs with a bath towel wrapped around his shoulders as his magician cape, or with a tea towel on his head to be the little shepherd boy. He loved a school play. Understandably, the general perception of George is that he's a dunce. But he did in fact go to a grammar school. Mum and Dad were blessed with 3 beautiful children. All of whom, nobody was known, all of whom are incredible dancers. But George was the only one who was allowed to drop out of school, wasn't he, Mum and Dad? Yeah. We loved to dance too, but George, at the age of 14, was allowed to leave school, go to an actual performing arts school, and a dance college where they write your GCSEs and A-levels for you, and you can be a lovely dancer and harvest your talents there. So thanks for that, Mum and Dad. Cheers. You go, girl. The Brit School has churned out many successful celebrities such as Adele, Amy Winehouse and sexy Tom Holland. All have cited their successful careers to that college. George might not have the money, the success or legacy of Amy Winehouse, but he does have something that Amy Winehouse doesn't have. He's turning 30 next month and still alive and kicking. No, seriously, when we went there, I actually remember thinking, bloody hell, if he's as famous as this lot, he can buy me a house and I'll never work a day in my life. What a letdown.
You never worked a day in your life.
Granted, we got a few cruises at a better price, but now we get nothing. Not even a pen from the stationery cupboard at the Warner Brothers studio tour. Speaking of stationery, George has got a weird affection with it, haven't you? Weird, very weird. A bit like Gollum and he's precious. Being a stationery hoarder or a stationery whore. When moving out of Mum's, he practically left behind the whole stock of Duckray Smiths. He had 13 pairs of scissors, 41 biros, 36 pencils, and something we told Mum was a giant vibrating rubber. Moving on.
I've had the same brew for 20 years.
His love of getting into character continued into his professional life, as we all know, as well as his love for tights and prosthetics. George is still to this day our very own Peter Pan, the boy that never grew up, plays with Lego, and cries when he's hungry. To be fair, growing up, George was pretty good with the girls. Mainly because he looked like one, and he enjoyed dressing up like them. You go, girl! We're getting there, guys, we're getting there. We draw your attention to exhibits E, F, and G, and H. It's a big one, it's a big one. It's a big one. Have a little look. Lay them out so everyone can see. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. She's gone, Mum's gone. Everyone, we have Peter Pan. Nice. We have Tweedledee on crack. Who's that meant to be? Jimmy Savile. And Mr. Ballsack Face. Someone get Mum some water. Despite being the favourite child and the only one who was allowed to pursue his performing and dance dreams, ironically George does have a real job now in advertising. So who's the loser now? Who's laughing now? Prior to joining the Rat Run though, George did graft his way through the COVID lockdowns. He had a number of jobs. He cared for the firm and elderly. He did remote IT, he was a delivery driver, he worked in a factory and he started an OnlyFans. Yes, he started an OnlyFans. How do you think he paid for that flat? We all know.
1, 2, 3 months.
No, it wasn't OnlyFans, no, but George did work for an IT company during lockdown. He he does love his devices and tech. Whether it's showing Mum how to delete another wrong message in another wrong group on WhatsApp, or a mug-sized portable speaker that's about that big. How big it was. That Grace definitely stole. George will always share. He once helped me out with an IT disaster. Hold on for this one. I don't want to dwell on it, but like I've said, we weren't allowed to follow our dreams of dancing or performing. I did an English degree. I had to save one of my assignments once to a memory stick, and then I submitted it to the professor for grading. I'd lost my memory stick, so I had to pop down to George's room to ask and see if he had one I could borrow. He miraculously accumulated around 20 million of them. Luckily, and obviously, George had been fed by Mum, and he was on high spirits and was less hangry than usual. He grunted at me when I asked for a memory stick and chucked it at me. I jumped back upstairs and I quickly saved my essay to quickly head off to campus. I plugged the memory stick into the screen and appeared were pictures that were already saved on that memory stick.
No, stop it now.
The pictures were of George's girlfriend of the time, and let's say a slightly, well, she left very little to the imagination, let's say. She was a fellow dancer at George's college and she was doing the Nutcracker. A split second later, I hear George's door slam open. He sprints, he trips, he sprints again, he bounds into my room and he breathlessly tells me that that is the wrong memory stick and he'll need to give me another one. By which time I casually removed the memory stick, put it to one side to make it look like I hadn't seen a thing. No one would ever know. Friends, if you're curious to see what was on that memory stick that day, please look for Exhibit I, Your Evidence Perhaps. Who's got it? No, we'd never do that. We'd never show you a picture of Georgie's ex-girlfriend in nothing but her knickers. We don't need to do that actually, as some of you in this room know. Another of Georgie's ex-girlfriends did that all for herself. She posted her glamour model shots on Facebook for us all to like and share. You go, girl. Cheers. How does one pan stack do for the UK's biggest nerd? Exhibit J, everyone. What a little geek. We panned the stake around George's weird magazine subscription over the years. Horrible Histories, 007 Spy Files, White Wolf, Dungeons and Dragons, and of course Playboy. You go, girl. One more. We're sucking. I think we were judged for not being laddie enough to go on George's stag, but how wrong you all were. I won the axe throwing, and I spent the most money on strippers! I know the general rule of thumb is not to discuss what happens on the stag. What happens on stag stays on stag, lads. But I want to tell you the truth, you deserve to know. That night, George left with not one, but two women. His sisters, you mug! In keeping with best man stereotypes, I just want to shout out the fitties to the bridal party. Let's. Jess. Sorry. Carry on. Hindu crew, thank you so much for a fabulous weekend in Birmingham with Princess Jess. We feel like Jess, you've finally forgiven us now for beating you at Bake Off. Trust. It was such a fun weekend, and hats off to Jack. Where's Jack?
There he is.
Good man. You're our hero. We love seeing you be a spy around the diner and reenacting the dirty dancing lift with a complete stranger. Finally, thank you all for your patience when taking the scenic route every single time with Grace, when we were following her. You will all be pleased to know she's broken up with the toxic and gaslighting Google Maps after arriving at the station platform with just 2 minutes to spare. Jess, we are so thrilled to call you our sister. You are funny, you're patient, very patient. You're kind, clever, and mercilessly good baker. Let's face it, you're kind of the perfect woman. You go, girl. You take risks. You're marrying George, for crying out loud. And that's a massive gamble. And you have an infectious zest for life and living it to the fullest. Let's face it, anyone who gets in a car with George on the regular and survives certainly has gratitude for life and may get out alive.
You drunk?
As you came down the aisle earlier, I was thinking, wow, this woman is so bloody beautiful. I got so emotional and I was welling up and I thought, God, she could do so much better. I wiped my tears and I thought, what a waste. You could have had someone with shitloads of money. George is as tight as me in this bloody dress. You could have had someone with looks and style. He looks like a middle-aged geography teacher. Wasted. It's nearly over. Last bit. Traditionally, the best man will give the bride and groom some advice during their speech on how to live a happy married life. Well, I'm married and terribly unhappy. However, I'm single and very happy. So together, at least, we're qualified to do it. As young people and then in our adult lives, we're told everywhere we look that we should be strong, fearless individuals. Do another shot, I can't do any more.
Do another shot!
No. We'll get there. Never back down from what you believe in. Follow your dreams at all costs. Stand firm if you feel passionate about something and never compromise. I will not compromise. And whilst I do believe in all of these statements, I know that there is an exception, and the exception is love. If you have love, you have everything, and it trumps being right, and is more significant than all your core beliefs and lifelong dreams rolled into one. Love conquers all. Love is stronger than forgetting to take the bins out again, or whose turn it is to cook dinner.
Yeah!
It's much stronger than staying out late for essential networking drinks after work instead of coming home to your family, isn't it, Michael? And it's definitely stronger than that time when you snogged your ex on a night out in Essex after you told me that you were piece of shit! Sorry, it's not the time and the place.
He's the real enemy.
George and Jess, you're the lucky ones. You found each other and your love will win every single time. So I say, compromise for each other every day. Be strong together and for each other now. And as for being fearless, never take this love for granted. You should only ever fear losing something as precious as you two have. Everyone, please be upstanding. We'd like to raise a glass to the undeniable, enchanting, fearless, solid and beautiful Channing Tatum at the glass of Magic Mike. Cheers. No, seriously. To Jess and Jessie's man. Cheers.
Mrs. Bowyer.
Yes, it's over. It's over. It's done. It's over. It's over. Sit down.
I think I meant to say thank you. That glowing character reference. Really glad everyone's got copies of all of those photos. Yeah, that's fantastic, really, really great. No, thank you very much, girls, for that. I think. Regretting getting a videographer at this stage, but it's all good, it's all good. Aside from speeches thanking people, obviously one of my jobs that I take pleasure in doing is to make sure that we raise a glass to those that couldn't be here today. and I don't just mean that random person Laura bumped into at the gas station that she wanted to invite. I mean friends and relatives, not only that can't be here because they're no longer with us, but also that couldn't make it. So I'd like to raise a glass to friends that are absent but in our hearts. But if I didn't know what to say, Mum was feeding me that line the whole time, despite it actually being in the notes. So, when Jessica and I first started planning this wedding, one of the first, and I think frankly the most romantic things Jessica's ever said to me was, sorry, when I say this, what's the point in marrying a Brit if you don't do it in a castle? Doesn't even deny it, just so we're clear, just so we're clear. Now, as we do have castles in England, they aren't cheap, hence you all being here on a Friday from 3 p.m. and home by 12. But I have to say, I'm immensely proud of me and Jess. We worked hard, we rolled up our sleeves, and then we let John and Laura pay for today. No, jokes aside, we are both incredibly grateful for the help you've given us in making today possible. Being from the opposite sides of the world are the reason that days like this are so incredible, bringing everyone together, and we're very grateful for it. But long-distance relationships, as many of you may know, are all about balance and compromise. And more often than not, Jessica has made that compromise. She's been the one that's spent time away from her family. She's put her career on hold for the last 4 months so that she can become a UK citizen very soon, hopefully. Which is why, like I said before, I wanted Jessica to have a no compromise, no balances, exactly what she wanted day. I wanted that for us, and I wanted that for you. And the fact that we were able to do that because of John and Laura is something that I'll never be able to repay them for, and something I hope they'll never ask me to. Like I said, classes are cheap. But yeah, you and Laura and John have both welcomed me into their family, and I'm so incredibly grateful. I've always said that the relationship that me and Jess have is wonderful, and as easy as it is to love someone like Jessica, you can't do it without the support network that me and Jessica have both had. We've both got 2 families on either side of the ocean, which makes leaving one half and spending time with the other just that little bit easier. So yeah, I'd like to raise a glass to John and Laura for making today possible. So I'm going to hand over to John, who was, as I understand, wasn't expecting to need to make a speech, because it's not something they necessarily do in the US, so we sprung this one on him. I hope it's not quite as brutal as the one that my sisters just gave, and he hasn't got envelopes so far, so we're at a plus point. Do you need the shots? Or you just give without shots? You can make anything he wants to say without a shot.
I don't know who set the order of these speeches, but I don't know why I'm going last. I think Amy and Grace should have definitely got. They stole all my jokes. I want to thank everyone for coming. I appreciate it. A lot of you have sacrificed to come here today. Friends, family from as far away as Alaska. That's my cousin Martha over here. If you want to ever meet somebody from Alaska, this is your chance. Yeah, all these British references. This side doesn't get it. We're not laughing. And we can't understand half of what you say anyways. I really want to, I know, my accent, it's clear. I really want to thank all of you. I want to especially thank Margaret and her family for such a wonderful welcome. They literally opened doors for us. We're staying in Margaret's house. She left, brought us in. It's soon, right? And to get a little serious here, though, just a few years ago, Jessica's grandfather and my father-in-law, Jim Duran, passed away. I bring this up only because he showed me how to be a great father-in-law, and I hope to live up to his standards. So if you could raise a glass for him. I know he would have absolutely loved this celebration. He would have loved being here. He would have loved George. It would have been fantastic. So he's given me a lot to live up to, and hopefully I can do that to George. On some more positive notes, to kind of wash out all that other stuff out of your system, Laura and I will be celebrating our 33rd anniversary this year. And my parents will be celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary this May 4th. So be sure to, they're right up here in front, but be sure to wish them a happy anniversary when you see them. The father of the bride doesn't speak at weddings in America. It's just not something that is done. George said it was a tradition here so that I could gush over my new son-in-law. So this will be the short part of my speech.
One of you. Nice.
It was brought up before, I hope you're paying attention. I wrote a pros and cons list about George as my son-in-law.
In front of it.
I'm kidding. I think George's sisters covered everything in everyone's list. Again, all kidding aside, Jessica could not be happier, and that makes me very happy. And I think that's part of life. When your daughter's happy, you'll be happy. When your wife's happy, you're happy. George really is a kind, compassionate, outgoing, and loving man. He is a wonderful person. I've come to learn that over the times we've spent together, which weren't many. I feel like I've seen him so much due to Zoom and just online calls. I know he will be a supportive and strong partner for Jessica as they start their lives together. I want to welcome George to our family, welcome our family to George, and I'm proud to call you son. Thank you.
One look at you, my whole life falls in line. I prayed for you before I called you mine. Oh, I can't believe it's true sometimes. Oh, I can't believe it's true. I get to love you. It's the best thing that I'll ever do. I get to love you. It's a promise I'm making to you. Whatever may come, your heart I will choose. Forever I'm yours, forever I do. I get to love you. I get to love you.
Wait your feet away. You ready?
Beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. My love is eyes that will sailing somewhere beyond the sea. She'll stay watching for me. If I can fly like birds on high, then straight in your arms I will see. It's clear beyond the stars, they stay behind the moon. And oh, beyond that, my heart will meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just like before. Happy to be beyond the sea. And never again will I go see. Beyond the stars is here, beyond the moon. And oh, beyond the stars, my heart will lead me there soon. Oh, we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just like before. Happy to be beyond the sea, oh, and never again will I go sailing, 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 no
Massive round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. If we could have the father of the bride to the dance floor, please.
There's two things I know for sure. She was sent here from heaven, and she's daddy's little girl. As I drop to my knees by her bed at night, she talks to Jesus, and I close my eyes, and I thank God for all of the joy in my life. Oh, but most of all, for butterflies kisses after bedtime prayer, sticking little white flowers all up in her hair. Walk beside the pony day, it's my first ride. I know the cake looks brownie there, but I sure tried. Oh, and all that I've done wrong, I must have done something right to deserve a hug every morning and butterfly kisses at night.
Massive round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And next up, a have the groom and the mother of the groom to the dance floor, please.
I just met you, seems like yesterday. You opened up your eyes and I recognized your face. You know that you're the one that we've been waiting for. We're gonna keep you safe. First time I held you in my arms, I knew I'd love you all the way. So long ago, we walked together and you held my hand. And now you're getting too big to want you, but I hope you'll always understand.
If everyone could join the dance floor, please.
It's gonna lift you up, and I'm never gonna let you down. I'm forever proud of you. Love you forever. Oh my God, through your ears I hear, through your eyes I see. A world full of magic, full of possibilities. And know as well as anybody how tough this life can be. So much strength inside you, strength I pray you'll never need.